If you've been scrolling through endless chair lists trying to find something that actually stays comfortable day after day, that's totally understandable. Most people just want a seat that won't betray them after a few months, that feels easy to adjust, and that actually earns every dollar you spend. The question is, how do you avoid the trap of a fancy feature sheet that sounds impressive but ends up being a pain to live with? That's the real hesitation most of us feel before we click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the better part of the last month sitting in a few different office chairs, comparing how they handle long video calls, marathon coding sessions, and even the occasional quick read of spreadsheets. The Steelcase gesture with its Cogent Connect fabric and those sleek platinum metallic legs is the one that kept showing up in the most recommended for all-day work lists, so I gave it a proper test run. First off, let's talk about the type of work environment that makes the gesture a solid candidate. If you have a home office where you're on your laptop for 8 or more hours a day, you'll notice the chair's ability to move with you. The seat and back are designed to synchronize, which means when you lean forward to grab a document or stretch back to relax, the chair actually follows the motion instead of forcing you into a fixed position. For me, that reduced the constant micro-adjustments I usually make with a standard office chair. It's not a one-size-fits-all magic, but it does feel more like the chair is responding to your natural body language instead of the other way around. Who should buy this? The gesture is aimed at the professional who spends the majority of the day behind a desk, especially those who switch between tasks that demand different postures. Think graphic designers who need to lean forward for detail work, writers who like to recline while brainstorming, or anyone who does a mix of typing and video calls. If you're the type who values a chair that can be fine-tuned, the fully adjustable arms and seat depth knob will feel like a built-in toolbox. The fact that the upholstery is 100% polyester means the fabric holds up well against spills and the occasional fingerprint, which is a bonus if you have kids or a pet that likes to hop onto your desk. Who should skip it? Budget-conscious shoppers who are looking for a pure good enough seat for a few months probably won't get enough value here. The price point sits well above the entry-level market, and the benefits become most apparent after you've spent enough time to test the ergonomic adjustments. Also, if you tend to work standing most of the day and only need a chair for brief rest periods, a simpler model with fewer moving parts might be a smarter use of money. Finally, anyone who works on carpeted floors should reconsider the hard floor casters. Those wheels glide smoothly on tiles or hardwood, but they can make a noisy squeak on carpet and won't roll as easily. Now, onto the practical strengths that actually matter after you unpack the box. The biggest win for me was the all-day comfort claim. The seat cushioning uses a high-density foam core, which provides enough give to keep your hips from feeling like a hard slab, yet it's firm enough that you don't sink too deep and lose proper lumbar support. Because the back moves with you, I found I could lean into my monitor for a close-up without feeling like the chair was pulling me forward. The arms being fully adjustable in height, width, and pivot also meant I could set them exactly where my forearms rested while typing, reducing shoulder strain that I normally experience after a couple of hours in a non-adjustable chair. Another practical advantage is the durability focus. Steelcase advertises a 12-year manufacturer warranty, which is not just a marketing line, it reflects real confidence in the frame and mechanisms. Over the weeks I used the chair, the platinum metallic frame didn't develop any squeaks or wobble, even after I tested the tilt tension repeatedly. The wheels are specifically engineered for hard flooring, so on my concrete-finished home office they roll without leaving marks, and the casters don't get caught on thresholds the way softer rubber wheels sometimes do. On the flip side, there are a few trade-offs that can bite if you're not aware of them. The biggest gripe I heard from other reviewers, and confirmed in my own use, is the thickness of the upholstery. The Cogent Connect fabric is luxurious, but it adds about an extra inch to the overall seat height. If you already have a desk that's on the lower side, that could force you into a higher elbow position unless you lower the seat, which then reduces the cushion's compression. Also, the arm adjustment levers are tucked under the arm pads, and while they're not hard to find, they require you to be seated to make the changes. For someone who frequently stands up and sits back down, that can feel a little inconvenient compared.